Ladies and gentlemen, Tam White!
How y'all doing tonight? I'm Tam White. If I knew the lights would be this bright, I would have shaved all my chin hairs. Damn it. So cool to be in Florida. I just celebrated a milestone birthday, everybody. Yes, yes. So not only are my chin hairs the problem, 2 weeks ago when I reached into my back pocket to answer my cell phone, my phone was in my purse. My ass cheek vibrates now, everybody. That's what it's doing. Yeah, I know I'm not the only one in here. Yeah, this is my second time ever visiting Florida. I came a few years ago to Orlando, and now here in Sarasota, and I met a nice young lady in the market earlier today, and she told me, you should come to Florida more often. In fact, you should move here. I said, why, ma'am? She said, because we have a lot of fun. Like, we do a lot of thrilling things, like go bungee jumping on the weekends. I said, in Detroit, we do thrilling things too. Like, I pump my gas at night, damn it. That's what I do. Very thrilling, everybody. Yes, it is. And like you said, I like to do a lot of stand-up, improv. I perform as much as I can all around the country because I want to save enough money to buy my first designer bag. Ladies, who got designer bags in here? Yeah. You're laughing like, bitch, you ain't got one yet. I deserve one. I perform a lot. I deserve one. So what I did was last Christmas, I got myself that big tote bag. You know, the one that has LV all over it, LV, yep. But no one knows I'm rocking a Luther Vandross, damn it. That's what I got, the Luther bag. Fake it till you make it, right? That's right. My mom asked me about coming here. She said, are you nervous? I said, why, Mom? She said, well, you're going to McCurdy's, right? I said, yeah, what do you know about McCurdy's? She's like, I heard it's a cool club, but aren't you nervous? I said, why should I be nervous? She said, you know, the audience doesn't really look like you. Does that scare you? Yeah, when you do shows like that? She just assumed. And I said, Mom, I've been to 9 John Mayer concerts. I got this shit. A few John Mayer claps in the audience. Yeah, a few fans. Yep, I got this. And then I had to remind her I'm open-minded. I don't worry about things like that. Like, I once dated outside of my race. I did. It was a white guy named Sean. We had a lot in common. We were in love, and people thought we were going to last forever, and I did too. But he went a little too far. As carefree and open-minded as I am, I have to draw the line somewhere. And I don't mean for the show to get dark and sad, but I really want to share this with you all because there's an important lesson in this. The reason why I'm not with Sean anymore is because I found out that when he wasn't around me and just with his friends, that he was using the N-word, and not only was he using the N-word, you all, he was singing it. It hurts. And it's not the N-word you're thinking, it's the other one, Nickelback. What the hell? One clap for Nickelback. Just went too damn far with that Nickelback. Otherwise, we'd be married today. Yes, we would. And and I do miss him. He was funny. He had a sense of humor, but there was one thing that I didn't like that he did. This may be another lesson for some of you. Sean would do this thing where whenever we had intimate moments, or like if he's just giving me a massage, or I'm rubbing his back, just whatever, right? Netflix and chilling, as the kids say. He would say this thing here, and if any of you say this, please stop, because ladies, we don't like it, right? But they're not going to tell you because they don't want to hurt your feelings. So every now and then, Sean would say, fucking A. Who's that laughing really hard? Because her man does it. Who just laughed really hard? Mm-hmm, you do it. Don't you say it, sir? Well, I'm going to tell you now, stop it. We don't like it. It's not sexy. We dry up faster than Ice Cube's Jerry Curl in 1993. That's all I'm telling you, so, okay? One Ice Cube fan in the back. Your voice can be as deep as Vin Diesel. You can be as handsome as Denzel Washington, but it always comes out sounding like this. Fucking A! Stop saying it, gentlemen. Listen, in fact, I'm going to take all your fucking A's and I'm going to seal them tightly in jars. I'm going to sell them as a contraceptive. Yep. We're going to be rich, y'all, because the tagline is going to say, Who needs plan B when you have fucking A? You like that, sir? And then I'll make some money and buy you a drink. Yeah, fucking A. So please stop with that. I like to do a lot of shows, and I'm pretty transparent about who I am, but sometimes I get uncomfortable when people bring up, you know, who you voted for and things like that. And a lot of my friends don't like me to talk about it, but like I said, I'm open, and I don't want things to be uncomfortable, but I want you to know who I truly am. So I have no problem letting you all know that I voted for Clay Aiken, season 2 of American Idol. That's who the hell I voted for, yes. Ain't no shame in that. See, y'all thought I was gonna make a MAGA announcement, didn't you? No, but I am Mecca. Make eggs cheap again. I'm tired of eating grits. Somebody in the back was like, root, root, root. You tired of eating grits too? I am too, yes. So, my grandparents just celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary. I want to share that too, because that's another milestone. That's really cool. 70 years, the same sex and spaghetti recipe. That's love, y'all. Yeah, that's true love, right? And I told my grandma, I said, Grandma, don't take granddaddy for granted. A lot of people don't make 70 years anymore. You don't even hear 70 months, 70 weeks. I was on a date not long ago, at 68 minutes in, I said, he ain't it. Yeah, it's tough. Don't laugh at me. I want to be in love. So, and I said, Grandma, I said, you're lucky, don't take her for granted. She said, well, what's the dating game like these days in this decade? I said, Grandma, I don't date much because I'm always performing, but my girlfriends, their biggest complaint is that when they meet a guy, they don't truly learn who he is until it's too late. Like they have a baby together, right, or move in together. Like imagine signing a mortgage and then you find out he pisses in the sink. That's a deal breaker, isn't it, sir? That's a deal breaker. He's like, maybe. You didn't seem sure, sir. Now you're laughing. Imagine, so I feel like to take care of that, just require everyone to put a QR code on their butt, like a tattoo. Yeah, you get to pick the cheek. Hear me out, because when you go to a restaurant, right, you get the QR code right in front of you, you scan it really good with your phone, and you can decide if you want to stay there or go somewhere else. So you can do that in the dating world. Imagine you're on a first date, and you just ask them politely, just bend over so I can scan. Please, pretty please. Because you want to know what you're getting day one. And you scan her. Those aren't her lashes, but she got good credit. We can work with that. He can't spell worth a damn, but he's a millionaire. Millionaires don't piss in the sink. What else we got in here? She's a great communicator, but puts raisins in her potato salad. Hell no. Y'all put raisins in y'all potato salad in Florida? Yeah, that's a no-no. No Nickelback, no raisins. Remember that, y'all. So my one friend, you know, she's divorced, and she's down and out about it. Every day she keeps talking about it. It's been like a few years. And I'm like, you gotta get up. You gotta keep going. She's like, but I blame myself. I feel like it's my fault. I said, listen, there's no one to blame. Not you, not him. In fact, you know who's to blame? She said, who? I said, your family and friends. Yep, I'm gonna tell you why. Because when people tell their family and friends that they're getting married, what do they say? We're so happy for you, send us the invitation. Instead of keeping it real and giving them that disclaimer, like the medicine commercials. They don't know you from a can of paint, but they care about you enough to give you that disclaimer about the side effects, right? Nausea, weight gain, blah, blah, blah. What they were supposed to tell you is congratulations, but you know side effects of marriage include constant complaining, compromise, and conflict, with an occasional headache at the request of some head. Like, keep it real, let them know. Give them the heads up. I didn't get any claps for that one, did I? Right, and I feel really bad for her because she has TMJ too, so like no one told her this, right? Yeah, no one told her this. And she's very sad about this divorce, so I said, you know what? I do give back to my community, and I feel bad for you, Tina, so I'm gonna start a support group for those of you who didn't get that disclaimer. And you can all join if you want. Look us up. The name of the group is easy to remember. It's Bifellatio. Okay, that's the name of the group. It's a true sisterhood. These women meet every other Tuesday, and you can find them going, hell no, we won't blow. Hell no, we won't blow. And then they go home. That's all they do. They don't talk it out or anything. Just, hell no, we won't blow, and then they go home. And then I told Tina, I said, Tina, you know what? I said, if you get married again, you have to step it up a little bit. She's a bad actress. I said, take some of my improv classes if you want to role play, because she wasn't, she was never really horny, and he always was. And I said, that could have been the problem, because a lot of women, they try to fake it, but these guys see right through you. They're smarter than you think they are, right? Yeah, they are. Some women feel like these guys don't see, they see right through you. You'll be in the bed, oh, daddy, oh, yeah, I like it like that. Get it right there, but you're all frowned up, so he knows you don't want to do it. And you think you sound really good, but to him, you sound just like a Hootie and a Blowfish song. I only want to be with you. I love Hootie and the Blowfish. I started taking drum lessons recently, just really quick, because I just love Hootie and Blowfish. And I want to start like a cover band, and I want our names to be Booty and the Whole Fish. Like that would be, just switch the letters. Like 4 people that are coming to our show. I only want to be, because I love music. Like my first concert was Michael Jackson and his brothers in 1984. Yep, love concerts. I've been over 250 live concerts. I just love, and I like all genres, right? So what's funny is when you go to these concerts, you realize you've been singing songs incorrectly when you were young. Yeah. Yeah, we're still learning that. You're like, is that what they really said? Yeah, like when I was this tall in Queen, We Will Rock You, come on the radio. I was always saying, you got nut on your face, you big disgrace. I didn't know what nut was. I thought he really had like a tiny piece of cashew or pistachio like on his face, and someone saying, hey, you got nut on your face, get it off. Now I know it means something totally different. Especially those women in the bifellatio club, right? So, and then, also when I was this tall, Prince. We all love Prince, right? Right. And I knew his lyrics. I'm like, Prince, he's easy to understand. I got this. But I always thought Prince was telling all the women to count their vaginas. I did, because every time Controversy came on, I was singing, count your pussy, every time. Count your pussy. Anybody else thought it said that? Just me? You all knew it was Controversy? When you were like 6 years old? Okay. So imagine my mom driving me to school every day, because it was hot on the radio. They were always playing it. And I was in the back seat going, count your pussy. And then, I'd count mine. I didn't know I was like this tall, so I would be like, but I would whisper to myself, because my mom was strict, so I couldn't say pussy, right, where she can hear it. So she'd be driving, and I'll be in the back, count your pussy, 1. Count your pussy, 1, every time. And then sometimes at night, before I go to bed, I have to say my prayers, but then when my mom left out the room, I would talk to God and ask him questions. And then I would say, this is true, this is a true stereo, and I would say, God, why is Prince telling us to count our pussy? I only have 1. I didn't understand. I said, who has more than 1 pussy? Anybody in here got more than 1 pussy? Because I didn't understand. Count your pussy, 1. So when I got in the 4th grade, there was a really pretty girl named Heather. She had 2 boyfriends. I said, Heather got 2 pussies. But all the rest of us, we just have 1. Yeah. So, let me tell you something else about myself. Something I've been going through recently. So I don't have children. Is there any other women over 30 or 40 who don't have kids in here? And you're not afraid to like maybe yell or clap your hands. Yep. So I don't care how big the audience is, it's usually maybe 4 or 5 of us. We're a small group. I've been going through something for some years now. So once I got like maybe past 30 and I would meet people, you know, when folks have small talk, they say things like, where do you live? You have kids? Blah, blah, blah. So when I say I don't have kids, people look at me strange. You know, they either judge me or they think I'm an alien or something. They just don't understand. How do you not have kids? It's very strange. So I don't know if you women who clap, if you went through that, but I was in my head about it for years and I didn't like that. It made me feel mad because it wasn't my decision. It just wasn't in the cards for me. You know, I really did want kids. But some people are very rude about it. Like this lady I met in New York City, and she asked me in small talk. She was a stranger, but she asked me, hey, you have kids? I said, no. And she was so rude. She said, what's wrong with you? Yes. So, who laughed like that? Was it you, lady? She's probably here. I'm just kidding. She said, what's wrong with you? So I was like, she's rude. So I just said, you know, bitch, I like to take naps. That's all. Which I do love naps, but she doesn't know that's not the reason why I really don't have them. But because of people like her, and I'm sharing this because I know sometimes there are women in the audience who are going through things and I just want you to learn from me. I realize it's okay. People like her, just forget about them. Because in life, there are 2 paths, and maybe one was not meant for you. And by that I mean over here there's a path called Disney on Ice, which is so much fun and rewarding and it's cool family time. But damn it, vodka on ice ain't bad either. And that's the path I'm on. So I'm over that. Those judgy folks, I don't care anymore. I'm fine, I'm okay. Because I realize I probably would not have been a good mom anyway. I'm gonna tell you how I know. There are things I really don't know about kids at all. In general, I just don't know what they need, what they love, what they want. And also, true story, I don't even know what a Pokemon is. I always thought it was I always thought a Pokemon was a gay Jamaican. So I cannot be qualified. I cannot be qualified to be a mother if I don't know what a Pokemon is. Is it a gay Jamaican though, y'all? I really don't know what it is. Okay. And I don't want to be judged like that, you know? And then I think about, man, what if I was put in a situation like my friends during the pandemic where they had to homeschool, all of a sudden they were not ready, but they were like, now we got to homeschool. Like, what if that happened to me and I wasn't prepared? And I don't want to be judged and make mistakes and people say I'm a bad mom. And then I'd probably be nervous about homeschooling my kid because I'll think about some of the holes in the stories and the lies that I was told growing up, like nursery rhymes. You remember Mary had a little lamb, fleece was white as snow, everywhere that Mary with the lamb was sure to go. I was 27 years old when I realized they lied to me. Fleece white as snow, follow me wherever I go. That's the Florida police, that ain't no damn lamb. So I would want my kid to know the truth, especially with the important subjects like sex education. So imagine how creative I would get because I do improv and I teach improv and rhyming and things like that, right? So I would bring Jonathan in, I want him to know the truth. But I know his attention span is like that because he's a kid. So I'm gonna have to make it interesting. But remember y'all, tell the truth so these kids learn the true lesson. So when it's time for his sex education, I'll just make it creative and say something like, if there's a blister on her lip, don't you let her suck your, you know, something like that. Because it's catchy. Booty and the whole fish. It's catchy and it's true. That's right. And I'm the only child, don't have any siblings, but I watched enough sitcoms to know that because he got a lesson, now his sister wants one, okay? And she wants a fun one. But she's sassy and she's gonna say something like, Mommy, you're always doing singing lessons. Why don't you switch it up a little? And then you just say, you know what? All right, Teresa, you know what? It's Christmas time. We'll just make your health education lesson a Christmassy song. But it gotta be true. So you just say something like, we wish you would wash your coochie. We wish you would wash your coochie. My grandma was married 70 years because she washes. That's all I'm telling you. We wish you would wash your coochie or you'll die alone, which is true. That's right. Everyone clapping is on a date because they know. They wash. So, because She got a Christmassy song. Now he wants one, so you bring him back for his. Because guys, they get sweaty and things and dirty, so they need their health education lessons too. But tell the truth and make it Christmassy. And you just say something like, dick and balls shouldn't smell like Fritos. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I'm not saying it's you, sir. I just have to look somebody in the eye when I sing that song. And while we're at it, all the Eatos, burritos, taquitos, tostitos, Doritos. Now Tito's, we can allow that. There's really no scent there. Yeah, y'all like my nursery rhymes? They should use those in school because they're catchy and we're telling the truth here, yeah. Mm-hmm. So like I said, when I first came out here, I just celebrated a milestone birthday. So the stuff I was saying about the chin hairs and all that, like for real, I'm going through it. So I just turned 50 and I'll be 51, yes. So just turned 50, yep. And man, woo, it's tough. That whole middle-age thing, now I know why they call it that because I can only speak for myself. Some women handle getting older better than others, right? But for me, it's tough because when they say middle age, I get it. Y'all, I literally feel like I'm in the middle. I don't know where I belong in this world. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I've come from, where I'm going. I'm just lost. I'm losing my mind. I'm forgetting things. But I just know that I'm in the middle and it's not a good place because on this side over here, I'm too old for people like R. Kelly or Woody Allen to find me attractive. Yep. I'm right in the middle. Over here, I'm still too young to get a free coffee at McDonald's. I'm right in the middle. Over here, I should probably stop shopping at places like Forever 21. But damn it, I'm not ready for Chico's and JCPenney, not yet. And also what's strange, since I turned 50, only men, younger than 30 and older than 70 approach me. Very strange, yeah, very strange. So like I said, I'm right in the middle. And so that one is not that much fun because I'm like, okay, over here, I'm gonna have to burp him. I'm right in the middle. Over here, I'm gonna have to bury him. I'm right in the middle. Over here, he probably knows nothing about one of my favorite artists, people like Michael McDonald's music, right? But then over here, his ass probably went to school with Michael McDonald. I'm right in the middle. Over here, I gotta wake him up to take out the trash. Over here, I just gotta try to wake him up. I'm right in the middle. Yes. And AARP, you guys know they're sending me things, and I still don't know what AARP means, the acronym. I'm sure some of you know, I do not know. I don't want to know what it means. It's scary to me. It scares me. And my friends are like, Tam, it's just 4 letters. And they actually are to benefit you. Why are you scared? I said, because I know it doesn't mean really cool shit like Adele's album release party. We know it doesn't mean that. We know it doesn't mean African American realty perks. Get my 3rd home in Florida. But I do know this. AARP, when you sound it out, it sounds just like a dying dog. Ah, try it. That's how you all are gonna call it from now on. You're gonna be like, hey, honey, did the ARP come in the mail today? Because you know I'm right. Sounds just like a dying dog. And now when I go out, I don't party and dance like I used to, but I love going to like techno clubs, things like that, and just dance all night. But now if I go to a party, I feel a little intimidated because you have these much younger girls who can move and dance and have the stamina and stuff. And like, because I've never learned how to twerk. I don't know how to twerk. My body just doesn't move that way. And I know that's what the guys like, right? But I can't do it. And I get jealous because I see these young girls and they're twerking. And I'm like, how do they do that? You know? And I'm like, they're over there jiggling and that jiggle and they look so sexy. And I'm like, I want to jiggle that jiggle. They're shaking what their mama gave them. I'm gonna shake what my mama gave me. So I start jiggling my jiggle. Y'all wanna see how I jiggle my jiggle? Yes. damn it, that's my jiggle. Shaking what my mama gave me. Ladies, if you want to feel free to start doing this dance so I'm not the only one doing it, do it in the clubs, please. We could call it the bifellatio dance or something like that. We'll figure out something. Yeah, we'll figure out something. So, yeah, I just get a little intimidated. And then my friends are like, Tam, who cares? So what if you can't twerk like that? I was like, I just miss the days when, I would get the cat calling when you're walking past construction sites, just like in the movies. You're on a college campus and you don't have any time in the day for this guy, but just knowing that he, you had his attention, he was interested, it made you feel good. And so that's gone. My friend said, Tam, you still got it. Go downtown, put on a sexy outfit, walk past that scaffolding on Woodward. Some guy's gonna call out to you. I was like, you promise? She said, yeah. I said, the same way those guys called out to me during college? When you would walk by and they say, hey lady, let me get those digits. She said, yes, it's gonna be just like that. So I trusted her and I put on a dress and I walked past the scaffolding. And to my surprise, I got one. He said, hey lady, and who, me? Get the fuck off the manhole! Then I said, oh yeah? So yeah. So my friend said, you know what, Tam? That cat calling was a false alarm. We're sure you're still sad. Why don't you do this? I said, do what? They said, why don't you make a song, like a nursery rhyme, a rap, a poem, or something like you do in your classes when you teach improv? Make one for yourself about your whole issue with aging. Just go ahead, just make a song, and we promise it'll lift your spirits and you'll feel better because you just love being creative. So what I did that. I followed their advice, and so I made my own customized birthday song for myself, and I'm going to sing it to myself every year when I get a year older, because I get stressed out about, these guys who don't know who Michael McDonald is and things like that, right? That I was speaking of earlier, right? So y'all want to hear the song that I came up with? Because it's really cool. All right. And by the way, I'm not singing, so I know y'all getting ready. Like, she's about to sing it. It's a song, but I'm not singing it. I'm just going to rap it. I feel I'm getting older, and that's not nice. In the last 10 minutes, I urinated twice. Always looking in the mirror, checking for wrinkles. If I laugh too hard, then I just might tinkle. Long gone are the days when we had firmer booties, so they abandoned us like Darius did Hootie. Remember when you had two good knees and now you blow out your back every time you sneeze? My new best friend is Oil of Olay. Mood swings have me like, fuck you and have a nice day. I wake up in the morning, my neck is killing me. But then I shake it off when I shimmy and I shimmy. Remember that? You might be older if you had a trapper keeper and stayed up late to watch the Masterpiece Theater. We missed our chance to flirt with Derek Jeter. Now we're all old enough to be Walmart greeters. I remember being put on timeout, but now I need to take a nap before I go out. Cardi B? No, cardio. I get hangovers from drinking Moscato. We're getting older, y'all. We're all getting old. Let's pray the Lord keep us fresh and bold. Let's pray the Lord keep us fresh and bold. I dedicate that song to the women who, just like me, 2 weeks ago went to Victoria's Secret and bought a bra for $65. But your shit still sag. But that's okay, ladies. That's just the lady swag. Remember that. That's the lady swag. And let it sag with your Michael Kors bag. In fact, let it sag with your Luther Vandross bag. Yeah. Give it up for my Luther Vandross bags and the Walmart greeters. They need love too. I love doing stand-up. I love performing. I love just being creative. I grew up an only child, didn't have friends to play with too much. It was just me. I didn't have many cousins. And it was just me and my music. Like I said, I love music. And then I had, in TV and movies, and I had all my heartthrobs on my walls. Who had those posters back in the day, the heartthrobs on their walls? Yeah? Those were my imaginary friends. And true story, my mom walked in one day because I had my posters up. And what she said when she walked in and saw my posters on the wall, she said, where the brothers at? Yeah? Because I had on my wall Jason Bateman and Michael J. Fox. And I said, oh no, my mom seems disappointed by this. So 3 days later, she came in my room and saw that I changed my posters. I said, she's gonna like this. And then she said, I said, where the brothers at? It was Michael Jackson and Alfonso Ribeiro, AKA Carlton Banks on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. And according to my mom, just so you all know, I guess they ain't brothers. So I had one more shot to get this right. I said, oh, this is as brother as it's gonna get. So my mom walked in, and she got so upset she started taking off her belt, because I don't know about you guys, but back in the day, there was a thing called ass whooping, right? And remember, my mom was strict, and who I had on the wall was the gangster rap group, NWA. Who's familiar with NWA? That's right. So she started to take off her belt. I didn't understand why I was in so much trouble. I said, Mom, what's wrong? She said, that's NWA. You know what the N stands for? I said, n. She said, you better not say it. I said, Mom, you can't whip me because the kids at my new school said that if you whip me, I can call Child Protective Services or the police. And she said, fuck the police. And then I said, you've been listening to them niggas too. Give it up for yourselves, everybody. Thank you. I am Tam White. And you can follow me at Tam White Comedy. Peace.
One more time, give it up for Tam White. That was hilarious.